Hello, ladies and gentlemen, James Wedmore here, and welcome to this very special video presentation I'm doing entitled Lessons from $1 Million in Digital Courses. Very excited to do this video. That is actually, yes, $1 million generated in sales just from 2014 alone. We've done a little bit more than that, and that's pretty exciting. Now, I'm going to share with you some distinctions, some lessons, some discoveries, tips and pointers and stuff that can help you along the way if that's something that you are interested. Whether you are currently selling online membership, video training, or digital courses, software, etc., or you plan on doing it, or you haven't even thought about doing it until now. And obviously it's a great reason because it's easy to get started, low overhead, low costs, right? And it's very scalable. It's a great way to create passive income. It's allowed me to do things like travel all over the country and the world, work when I want, work where I want, Laguna Beach, beautiful hometown of Laguna Beach, California, and whatnot. So I'm a teacher at heart, and I'd love to share with some stuff with you here today. Now, to be honest, a lot of what my business is, if you don't know much about me, I teach YouTube and video marketing. So I actually don't really have any training content or digital courses on the topic of how to create a course or how to sell a course specifically. It's more on anything video and YouTube related, and that's how we generated this $1 million in sales just in this year. But I know a lot of my students, subscribers, and customers do ask for this information, so I decided to put a video for you together and share some stuff that I've learned. Now, this is a picture of me back in 2008. It was actually right after April 18th, 2008, when I made my very first sale on the internet for a product called Bartend for Profit. It was both a physical course and a digital course. Now, let me tell you, even though I look very happy there to be selling my first course, someone who found me on youtube.com, it had been a very long and stressful journey. I did it all myself. I learned everything from HTML, programming, CSS, all that stuff, and then graphic design and writing a 200-page book, learning how to copyright, build websites. Then I had to drive traffic to there, all this type of stuff. How do I deliver the product and whatnot? It was a lot of work just to get to that point, and it was going to be a lot more work from that point to start selling that course on a continual basis. But that was 2008. That was quite some time ago, over 6 years ago, I believe. 6 years ago, 6 years and several months. And since then, I've had several out-of-this-world breakthroughs, and that's really what I want to do here. We're going to keep this at a high 50,000-foot view level. We're not really going to get into the specifics and details of walking you through all the stuff that you could probably do a search for on the YouTube. We'll just kind of look at what a direction you want to go in, what's the essence of what works with a digital course. So what we're going to talk about first are the 3 essential ingredients to creating and monetizing a profitable course. So let's go ahead and get started. There's content, community, and accountability. These are the 3 things that I personally believe make any course great. And you need to have all 3 of these, and you need to excel in all 3 of these. So what we're just going to do is talk briefly about each and every one of these. So we'll go ahead and start with content. Now that should be a no-brainer, right? If you're creating a digital course, it probably is what people are paying for. At least that's what you think that they're paying for, is the content. So that's what they're getting, the information, the training, the education, the wisdom. But what I want to do is share some things with that there. One of the things I learned a long time ago, which I've taken to heart and I put into practice myself, is that anytime I sell a digital course myself, I make sure that what I'm selling is actually a system. It's an A to Z system, or a point A to point B system. In other words, when they finish the course, if they go through your course, your students, your customers, and they take action and do exactly what you say, what is the specific end result? I try and create every course to have a specific end result. For example, if I created a course on how to create an online course, the end result would be you would have an online course, right? Or make your first YouTube video, or get your first YouTube video ranked at the top for your keyword phrase, okay? So that's really important. So it's much better than just saying like, I'm going to create a course on confidence, or I'm going to create a course on time management. But if you can create a very specific, finite, measurable goal that is obtainable for your audience, they're much more willing to pay for it because they know what they're buying, right? And then you can teach it accordingly. Now, the next thing, obviously I'm going to talk about this, is to teach it with video. Now, 9 times out of 10, if you create an online course, the best medium for that is video. There are exceptions. I've seen people who do meditation and guided hypnosis tapes, and obviously it would be better if that was an audio because they want to listen to it with their eyes closed. But most cases, you want to take your course to the next level with video training that has demonstrations, step-by-step, and commentary from you. Now, where do you host your videos? What do you use to upload it? For course-protected videos, I use Vimeo or Vimeo Pro. Pretty easy, pretty inexpensive as well. Now, the next thing is making it step-by-step. This is kind of a no-brainer, but that's what they're paying for. You see, all the information in the world, it's out there for free on Google and YouTube. One of the big benefits that you're bringing to the table is that you're putting it all in order. We don't have to go out there and do the research and figure it all out and connect the dots ourselves because you've done that for us. Take us by the hand, step by step, and show us exactly what to do in the order to do it so that we know exactly what to do. Now, the next thing, and this is kind of an obvious no-brainer, and that's to protect your content, right? One thing that a paid customer will get very upset about is if they discover that what they paid for is readily available to anybody who could easily access information. And I know of a good friend of mine who is experiencing that right now, where he realized that anybody could access his paid members area. If they just searched hard enough, they could find it. And when other people, paying members, found out, they got very, very upset. Now, we use Wishlist Member. You can go Google that, Wishlist Member. Also, Derek Halpern of Social Triggers just came out with Zippy Courses. Also, fantastic piece of software. You transform your WordPress blog into a paid membership site where people get a username and password. You got to do that. And the last thing to creating great content is really, once you've put together your videos or your audios or your PDFs, is to ask the question, is there anything else that I can provide to make it easier? This means links, resources, PDFs, templates, cheat sheets, other types of downloads, transcripts, audio recordings, video downloads as well, to add more meat to what you're doing. A lot of what I love to do with my content and my paid members is offer things like resource guides, buyer's guides for what equipment to get, but also things that will save them time. Like if I'm teaching you how to make a YouTube video, inside my YouTube course, you're also going to get script templates. In other words, they're PDFs of pre-written scripts where you just fill in the blanks so you know exactly what to say in your videos. That helps make things easier for my students. You see, you start to get this here, that content can be more than you just talking into a microphone. Okay, now let's go back up to teach it with video because there are two things I left out. I use a Blue Yeti microphone and ScreenFlow to record, and then I use Keynote. Just like this video right here, I use Keynote for my slides. All right, we're moving on to the next pillar of a profitable course, and that is, of course, community. A good friend of mine, Stu McLaren, always says they come for the content, but they stay for the community. And boy, that is so true. And if you're wondering, how do I create a community, especially if I don't really have an audience yet? Well, here's the biggest secret is when you create a great course and a movement around a course, you have to realize it's not about you. You make it about the members. You make it about what they're striving for. You make it about them, and you start to build a community. Even if it's a community of just 5 people, it's still a community, right? Another thing, and we'll talk about this more in a moment, is teaching others. When you have students that teach others, when someone who is a 5th grader gives a 4th grader knowledge, tips, advice, encouragement, you empower your 5th grader. And that's one of the greatest gifts that you can give. It helps to show your students that they have value to provide to the world themselves. It gives them confidence. It helps them learn your information on a deeper level. If a student of yours can truly teach your content to somebody else accurately and efficiently and effectively, then they're on the path to mastering your information. So you don't want to leave out community. You don't want to sit there and say, well, I'll wait until I have 1,000 members. No, it starts with the community, because that's really what people want today. You talk about information overload. We don't need any new content, but we need you to attract the right community. That's what people are willing to pay for. Let's talk a little bit about how to execute that. First of all, step one, create a vision. Not a vision for you, but a vision for your community. What is it that they're all striving for? What is that ideal that you want them to excel at? What's that vision that you have for your customers? And you want to communicate that in every chance that you can. Okay? Then you want to keep a conversation alive. I think a great way to do that is a group or forum. Now, we use private Facebook groups. I've been using these for years now, and I think they've really caught on. And a lot of people use them either for free or paid groups, and we'd love to use them for a paid membership site, is to have a private Facebook group. Now, there's something else I do, and I want to share this great resource. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I believe it's pronounced Sabai Discuss, and it's a simple Q&A forum plugin that you can put inside your members' protected area. And basically, people can search a list of questions and find the answers to those. So that way, your private Facebook group, you don't have to go in and see the same people ask the same question every other single day, right? Where you can just have a Q&A forum where all the tech questions or all the questions that people have are answered there. And then the Facebook group can be for sharing results and helping for goal setting and accountability and helping congratulate others on their big wins. That's what builds a community, okay? So that's what we do there. Let's move on, of course, to accountability. Now, of course, community itself fosters accountability, but I still believe that you as the course creator must be responsible for creating that accountability and that structure for your students. So the question really becomes, are you committed to your students' success? The moment you do that, you can begin to create a structure for accountability. One example, of course, real simple, is we have a customer support team of representatives, and we use a great software called Rhino Support, so that if anytime someone does have questions, we know that we're there to support them. Now, I want to talk more about the accountability, though. LearnDash.com is a great plugin. I believe it's $100. And basically what it does is it helps turn your content more into like an online classroom college course type thing, okay? So if you had 10 videos set up or 10 lessons, it actually helps track your students' progress. So you're 10% done, you're 20% done, right? So it keeps them, I think this is very valuable because it keeps them on track, it keeps them motivated to see how much further do I have to go. And of course, how many times have you gone through a course, you started watching it, you got distracted, came back a few weeks later, and you don't even know where you left off? LearnDash can do that for you. Now, LearnDash also does something which I think is great and allows you to have quizzes. So we put quizzes inside our courses, so we test our students to see how much they really learned. And if they didn't learn enough, well, now they have the option to go back and watch the videos again. Okay. Now, another thing that we're implementing, and I absolutely love this, is badges. Badges brings in the whole concept of gamification and community and accountability, because when you can encourage your people to, or reward your people to take action, when they take action, you really encourage them to take more action, right? So we'll give badges when they finish their first video or finish their first module or do their homework and finish the course, right? And that really is an incentive program for your members. Now, the next one is we make sure to use member autoresponders. So whether you're using Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, iContact, Ontraport, Infusionsoft, or something else I've never heard of before, it's super important that you have multiple touch points and an onboarding sequence to keep your members on track, to keep them motivated. Are you encouraging them daily or weekly with inspiring case studies or new content or just a motivational quote? Or are you just saying, hey, go, have you checked this video out inside the members area yet? The more you can do that, the better. And even if your students don't get to your members area. They still see your emails and they can see that you care. And that is so important. The last thing we do is surveys. And we'll do surveys in our autoresponders, and we'll actually do surveys within our courses themselves, so we as the content creator can be held accountable. So if someone finishes module 1 and you say, hey, what were your thoughts on module 1? And they say, I didn't like it, that's an opportunity for you as a course creator to modify it, to change it, to tweak it, to adjust it, right? So surveys are also powerful to hold you accountable and create that two-way communication with your students. And lastly, we also encourage our students to do what I call homework or action items or to-do items, because it's through the doing, it's through that action that your students will really learn. That's when it becomes real to them, and I think that is so important. Okay, again, so we have content, community, and accountability, the three elements to creating a powerfully profitable online or digital course. Have great content that's built like a system that teaches them everything from A to Z. Get really clear on where are they starting and where are they finishing. And then create a community where they can get a hold of you and the other members and request support, additional feedback, accountability, and etc. And then, of course, we have the third element, which is accountability itself. How are you holding these students of yours accountable? Homework, autoresponders with encouraging messages, quizzes, using cool plugins, and more. Now, after generating $1 million in sales just this year in digital courses, I see these as the three essential elements to a long-term profitable course that can make you a lot of money in your business. Now, I know we kept it pretty big picture here, so I want to finish up with a few more little things. This is a little thing on 4 reasons why I believe we fail with our digital courses. Now, failure can mean a lot of things. Failure could mean we never get started, right? We've always had that idea to do it. We never got started. We never finished it. Maybe we did finish it, and we didn't make any sales or as many sales as we wanted, and we gave up on it. So let's take a look at these 4 reasons right now. Number 1, I don't value what I know, or I take for granted what I know. Now, the funny thing here is we don't even realize that we take for granted what we know because we just think everybody knows it. It's not until you actually start talking to somebody else that you realize, heck, I kind of know something here, right? Because it's in your head every day, because you've known it, you've lived it, it comes easy to you. And sometimes we make a bold assumption and think it comes easy to other people as well. A great example for me is when I hired an interior decorator to design my home because I had no idea how to do that. And she thought it was the easiest thing in the world. Of course, it's her profession, it's her life, it's what she studied for, but it was also something that came naturally to her. So I was paying her for her knowledge and expertise, and she couldn't even understand why this was the most frustrating, complicated, confusing thing for me in the world. It's just my brain could not understand a lot of that stuff, but she did. She didn't truly value or see how much value she had in the selective specialization of the knowledge that she had. Okay, so that's the first one. Do you take for granted what you know, or do you really value it? Now, this is a big one. Number 2, who am I? Who am I to create a course? Who am I to become an expert? Who am I to be the authority on this topic? And this is ridiculous. First of all, you don't really have to be an authority to sell your content if you have something that worked for you. If you have value to provide, then you can offer it up. For example, you've seen the stories of the individuals that were 150 pounds overweight, and they decided to go on this crazy weight loss journey, and they did it. But they don't have personal training certifications or nutritionist education or background. They just created a plan and stuck to it and did it. Now, Could they productize all the lessons and wisdom they learned because of the results that they got? Heck yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. Most personal trainers have never been 150 pounds overweight. And if I were 150 pounds overweight, I might resonate more with this person that went on this huge transformational journey than a personal trainer who's always been in great shape. So who am I? You're you. And if you have some sort of result, information, or experience, who are you not to be sharing that with other people? All right, let's move on to the third one. If you've created the course and you're that far and you're ready, you put out the website and you just think a Facebook post or a quick email and you're going to sell 1 million copies, and it doesn't, it falls short, you get one sale instead of 100. Here's one reason why. You didn't convey the real benefits of the outcome, not the benefits of the course, not the features of the course, but of the outcome. The best courses simply solve a problem. So do you identify the real problem and then share the solution? What's it really going to be like when you complete this course? What is going to change for your life when that's done? And that right there, I mean, we could do an entire hour-long video just on that, but we got to keep going. Number 4 is we don't have any of the pudding. You know what I mean, right? You hear all the people say the proof is in the pudding. Well, if you don't have any proof, if you don't have results, then chances are people aren't going to believe you. Today, I use much more of my students than myself to teach my programs, to sell my programs. Because anyone can say, yeah, James, of course it's easy for you. You've been doing it for years. But when I can show that a student in 6 months put up 100 videos and got thousands upon thousands of views, it's much more believable. It's much more believable, but it's also, wow, James has a system that anyone can use. It's a replicatable system that's worth paying for, okay? So you have to have the results. All right, we're just about to wrap up here. All I want to do is end you with what I think the most important part, which is how to put the information, the insight, and the distinctions I've given you here today into action, right? So I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 action steps. Now, this starts for somebody who's like super newbie, like they're watching this video going, wait, I could make a digital course? Yes, you can. Here's how you get started. Number 1, and of course anybody could do this no matter what level you're at. It's some good exercises. Number 1, make a list of all the things that you know that you can help others with. And these are things that can help others make money, help others save money, improve their health, their fitness, their energy, or improve their love lives. Now, ideally, you just want to choose one of those, and you want to get pretty specific on at least one, right? But you want to make a list of any ways that you could, and then go for the one that you feel the most charged up about, the one that you feel most confident about, the one that you know you could have the biggest impact with someone's life in. Okay? But that's where you want to start, is just play around with. Because I could do something about relationships if I wanted to. I used to be 75 pounds overweight. I could do something on fitness as well. Okay, there's a lot of areas I could create a product on how to create courses. That's how to make money. But really the magic is not trying to be everything to everybody, but one thing to somebody. Okay, really important there. Now let's move on to your second action item. What you're going to do is, once you've picked one that you feel really good about, that might take some time to choose which one you want to write out the steps you would use to help them. Okay, so if I wanted to show people how to lose 75 pounds like I did, I would write up some steps, like step number 1, go into your kitchen and remove anything that's fattening or has junk food or it's processed, right? Step number 2, download this shopping list and go to the supermarket and buy these things. Okay, I'm making a very linear list of things and action items for them to do. You want to just spend some time writing this outline out. Write out the steps you would use to help your ideal customer. Number 3, this is huge. This is so huge. Identify the transformation. You've all seen the infomercials, mostly, usually late at night, of the fitness products where you see the before and after transformations, right? The first person, the before, they're huge, massive person, and the second person, they've got like this crazy 6-pack. We just love looking at those, don't we? Well, you need to create and identify that transformation yourself. What is there before? What does their before picture look like to you? And be specific. What is it that they're going through? What is it they don't have? What is it that they do have? What are their emotions, their feelings? What's their experience? What's their outlook on life like? Be specific, okay? And then, of course, number 2, and this is where the magic sauce is what is their after? Okay, so for me, if I'm teaching a course on YouTube, I could say their before is they have an online business, but they're not getting a lot of traffic to their website. They're not getting a lot of exposure, even though they have a great product or great service. And their after is they're getting a constant, steady stream of traffic, leads, and sales every day. And it's all ending with people saying, hey, I saw your videos on YouTube, sign me up. Okay, that's the before and after. It's not the greatest, it's not the worst, but it's a good one. And we'll play around with that. Step number 4, post it on Facebook. Ooh, this is where it starts to get scary if this is the first time we've thought about creating a course. And you're going to use a formula that goes a little something like this. If you're struggling with this and would like to have that, I can help. Send me a private message so we can chat more. I mean, this really puts you out on the line there, doesn't it? If you're struggling with getting traffic to your website and would like to have a steady stream of new customers, I can help. Send me a personal message so we can chat more. Remember, you're actually putting in a blank the before and the after from step number 3. So if you're struggling with a problem and would like to have this specific solution, I can help. Send me a PM so we can chat. All right, you might only have one person reach out to you, but that's okay, because here's why we're doing this. Step 5, you're listening for their biggest questions. Let them talk. Say, so what's going? Thank you for reaching out. Let's get on the phone. Let's get on Skype, or we could just stay on the personal and just talk to them. Just listen. Say, what's going on? What made you decide to reach out to me? How can I help? What else? Anything else? What are your biggest questions? What else are you struggling with? Let me know more. Give me more. Write down every question, because your course is going to answer all of those questions. And of course, if you help this person for free, now you've got some pudding. You've got some proof, which is in that pudding, right? You've got the results. When you can do it for yourself, that's one thing. When you can replicate it and duplicate it so that anybody else can get results, now you've got something truly magical. You don't need to be this celebrity, an authority, a person with a ton of certifications or whatevers. You're just someone who can help other people. Well, I could go on and on. I really could, but I thought you would enjoy this little video I put together for you, share some insights and whatnot. If you have any other questions, maybe I'll put together another video soon, but I wanted to keep this high level and just kind of get the brain thinking and the gears turning for this. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had a blast making this. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you soon.